If we win, I know exactly what Kim Smith's gonna say. She's never failed once.
Been living outside of Philly, yeah, I'm so far away. I've been gone for more than a minute. Is the neighborhood the same? All the kids on the corner, California never had that thing. I remember a rich girl in the summer like yesterday. Philly, forget me not, forget me not, forget me not. Come on, Philly, forget me not. Forget me not, forget me not, forget me not. Come on, Philly, forget.
Okay, looks like we're going live. So as promised, this is going to be chopped up into different parts. In this part, I thought it'd be in my best interest to keep all these thoughts together. We're going to talk about the local newspaper, the Green Valley News and the Sahuarita Sun, I think it's called. More specifically, the reporter, Kim Smith. I'll withhold. So if you're new to the channel or you're just tuning in, what I'm doing here in the next series of I don't know how many videos, as I've explained, I'm going to just set the record straight. So many lies from so many different fronts, hurting a woman who has been through so much, including health-wise, emotional. I mean, if my wife Deborah were to write a book, nobody would believe it, and it would all be true. Anyway, let's just stick with the current stuff. There's just a handful of local people, Kim Smith among them, who have published her article. I'm going to go over her latest article, but I'm going to give you some background into Dan Shearer, the owner or the publisher, whatever he is. Benjamin Franklin said, "Never argue with a man who buys his ink by the barrel." Dan Shearer, you know, he holds a lot of sway, but he's a dinosaur, and he doesn't understand. He has no, personally, he has no concept of many of the things that you and I hold dear. Enough said. Was he a good journalist in his day? I don't think there's any doubt about that in anybody's mind. Give credit where credit is due. All right. So we're going to talk about the newspaper article. I'm going to go through the latest article. But let me give you a little background first. And this is all about the truth. And then I'll get to the James Freeman part because it all kind of ties in. Exposing the corruption. Once I lay these videos down, I'm going back to work. I can't let this be a distraction to me any longer. If we win in court, great. If we lose in court, my point is, if we win, I know exactly what Kim Smith's going to say. She's never failed once. If we lose, I know exactly what Kim Smith's going to say. I can read the stitches on a fastball. Oh, I'm going to talk a little bit about the defense attorney, too, because she has a special relationship with him, don't you, Kimmy? You do. Yeah, oh, yeah. The million or so, I'm not going to do it in this tape, but in the million or so dollars that my tax dollars as a taxpayer in Sahuarita, Arizona, are going to pay this man. He literally showed up in court last Tuesday, a week ago today. It looked like he was hungover for everything in me. He may be a fine litigator, and from what I've heard and what I've read, he's one of the best when it comes to defending the cops. But that cradling, that babying of our police departments to a large degree, you know, some of us who support the blue, hello, I'm still one of us, but you got to call out the wrong when it's wrong, man, and that's all there is to it. I was a police officer, as most of you know, better part of 9 years. So I know a little bit of what I'm talking about. I know what's coming next. But let's dive into the newspaper. So Ed Shear, owner, publisher of the newspaper, the Green Valley News, he has sold the soul of that newspaper to the 30% of the population in Green Valley that's extreme liberal. And what I mean by that is The rest of us are standing on the corner, and a yellow school bus goes by, but they insist it's blue. You can't deal with people like that. That's 30% of Green Valley. The other ones that are in the middle have a brain and they think. So I'm going to bring you the receipts. Back in 2006, exactly 20 years ago, Dan Shear had the opportunity to do a hatchet job on me. How do I know this? Because at the time, I was running a congressional campaign here at the time, I believe it was called Arizona's 8th District. I'm trying to do this without cuts. Speaking from my heart, really. I got a few notes, but not too many. At any rate, I was Randy Graff's campaign manager until his opponent, Jim Colby, who I write about in my book. By the way, you can get that book for free now. Just click below, I think. Tell me where I was wrong. Tell me what I missed. Tell me what I'm lying about. I'm not. That's why when I lay all these videos down and get the corruption exposed, I'm walking away. It's not a fight I'm wanting to fight unless anybody's going to join me. Almost $1 million. The town council of Sahuarita, hear no evil, see no evil, including Dr. Steve and Diane, whatever her name is, claims to be super Christian. Man, you give the body of Christ a bad name, Diane. It's just the truth. All right. Yeah, no, and I'm sure she'd say the same thing about me, blah, 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 blah. I'm so sick of the lies, I don't care. I know what the newspaper's going to write. And I also know what the defense attorney using the newspaper's next move is. Bible says we are not ignorant of his devices. So Satan's not capable of creating anything, but I digress. That'll be on a different tape. So let's read this article together, shall we? Because it's a mishmash, but lies are lies. So I'm going to call her out. U.S. District Court Judge, a U.S. District Court Judge is mulling over whether he should dismiss a lawsuit filed by a pastor. By the way, Kim, pretty sure that's supposed to be a capital P, but who am I? By a pastor against the Sahuarita Police Department. Judge Rainier, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his first name, Rainier. He's a famous judge. I mean, his background is incredible, coming up from nowhere. Yeah, it's kind of like a Rocky story, this judge. Rocky, Philadelphia. All right, that was just my way of trying to make a joke. All right. You know, I get it. This stuff is serious, but truth is truth, man, and I have no problem doling it out. Show me where I'm wrong. Judge Rainier Collins heard arguments Tuesday, that's a week ago today, from James Jellison, who, let me tell you what happened. And this is another reason why I think the city's wasting its money on James Jellison. Let's set aside the fact that this whole lawsuit could have been settled for $1 and some serious training. That's where we started. A matter of fact, in an upcoming video of my wife's deposition, which is part of what the enemy's going to use next against me. I know the playbook, man. I've been here before. I had a district attorney, an assistant district attorney, make her name for herself in Montgomery County back in 1995, 94, and just so she could get elected to the judgeship. And she's been on the bench ever since. I think she's the head honcho down there. God bless Risa Freeman. I've actually prayed for her. But boy, did she do a number on me. She hated me, which, you know, there's a lot of that going around. She hated me, and she used her power while accusing me of abusing my power. It's a trippy world we live in. Anyway, Dan Shear, back in 2006, 2005 maybe, he got wind, probably from Jim Colby, I'm guessing about that, but he got wind of a checkered background. Now again, I wrote all about it in my book. If you want to know, I'm not going to go over old stuff. I have a entire video somewhere back there in the eons of time. Just search back where I talk about the Third Circuit Court and where I've actually gotten a little bit of progress since I made that video, but I'm not there yet. But trust me. People wonder, the newspaper tries to make it look like, oh, he's a brainiac. He thinks he's a genius, representing himself. I mean, that's the tone that they set. But nothing could be further from the truth. When the judge asked me, "Are you a lawyer?" Of course, I said no, and I said, "And we're not represented, Your Honor, but not by choice." Now, the judge didn't ask me anything about that, but if he would, I would have told him the exact same thing I'm telling you. We didn't have $70,000 to $75,000. That's the least expensive lawyer in Arizona to take our case. Well, maybe, just maybe, the Almighty has different plans, because I'll be honest with you. We could lose. There's no doubt about it. They could throw the case out, declare qualified immunity. It would be sad thing if that happened, because there really are no lawsuits against cops anymore, and they're getting away with more and more things, as you see. Oh, believe me, I'm going to be talking about Lieutenant Eric Heath of the Sahuarita Police Department ad nauseum. I'm just getting started. Told you I had so much more. You didn't believe me. Go back a couple of videos. Yeah, that guy's bad news, and I'm going to prove it to you and hope that he sues me. Afro Man, Lemon, Pound Cake. I might ask for permission to use that video. All right, I'm stalling. I'm sorry. Just trying to gather my thoughts, because I'm not really using notes. Let's talk about this article. Kim Smith, who actually was overheard saying she's going to do everything, and I'm paraphrasing, everything within her power to put our church out of business and put me out of business. She's a lovely woman. I'm dead serious when I say, you want to pray for her? Please do. It's been a little hard for me, but we forgive. We're forgiving people. We're in the forgiving business, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. On April 19th, 2023, Sahuarita Police Department breached the front door of the Aikens home while responding to a domestic violence call. Well, okay, the only thing I'm going to say about that is the call was a hoax. The paper has known that the call was a hoax. The police have known for over a year that the call was a hoax. Who else? Police, paper. Okay, that's enough. They've known for quite a while. The defense attorney, Jellison, has known that the call is a hoax. And I think she alludes to it in the article. We'll get to it soon, and I hope you're staying with me. I really need you to spread these videos around so that people get the truth, because I'm done. After I lay the record down, I'm going to let the public, I'm very, very happy to let the public decide. Good guy, bad guy. I'm going to just keep doing what I'm doing. And so this is why I got to lay this down for the record, so that when you hear the lies, maybe, just maybe, you'll call that person on it. But I digress. Jellison argued exigent circumstances existed and the officers needed to ensure Aiken's wife, Deborah, was physically okay. So just to cut through the bullcrap, so they phoned Deborah. I'll have more on that later. They questioned her over the phone. They asked her to come to the front door so they could see her. Officer Woodrow says to my wife clearly on the phone, "You don't have to open the door necessarily, just so we could see you were okay." Not only does she come to the window in congestive heart failure. See, it never occurred to Kim Smith that what the defense is twisting, and the cops are the originators of this. I used to be one. He's demonstrating characteristics of a abuser, wife beater, whatever you want to say. So right out of the gate, how do you argue a negative? For the record, I have never laid a hand on my wife in 43 years, 44, 46, however long I've known her. and however long I've been married to her. And some of the time that we were together, I was not a Christian. Enough said about that. So don't even spare me. I've never laid a hand on her. End of story. Jellison argued exigent circumstances existed and the officers needed to ensure Aiken's wife, Deborah, was physically okay. Nothing my wife or I could have done, short of opening the door, was going to make them okay. Well, are they doctors? Are they psychiatrists? Meanwhile, the clock is ticking. This thing goes 1 hour and 4 minutes long. Just on a little background there for you. There's going to be a lot of background. I hope you stay with me. My goodness, we're into 15 minutes. All right. So, you see what I'm saying? I'll get to James Freeman, I promise, but I'm not there yet. Jellison informed Collins that officers were told a woman had called 911 reporting she'd heard yelling coming from Aiken's home. The sound of things being thrown, a man screaming, "You will respect me." Sounds like an episode of The Sopranos. "You will respect me." And a woman pleading with someone to calm down. When officers arrived, they confirmed they were at the correct address after about 20 minutes. After Stephen Aiken would not allow them to speak with his wife. Really? Because the body cam, this is why one thing she says, and I'll give her credit where she got it right. So far, yeah, okay. When officers arrived, they confirmed they were at the correct address. Aiken would not allow them to speak with his wife. The very first question Sergeant Frugs asked me, and again, this is all part of Jellison's document 55, evidence that he put in the record. That's why if we win on this motion for summary judgment, if it's denied, that means the case goes to trial. I can't wait. I'm just getting started. So Jellison submits this evidence, and at court last Tuesday, miracle of miracles, Judge Collins allowed me to play a 7-minute video. I'm not going to play it for you here. It will be listed soon. It's going to be one of these series. But in that, because I want to include the transcript and everything that's in the public record as evidence, I'm going to give you for free. So you don't have to go through the FOIA crap. All right, lost my train of thought, but let's keep going because I don't want to make any edit. So when they confirm the right address, but one of the first questions Frug asks me is, who else is in the house? I'm a former cop. I know he knows nothing. He don't have no names. He don't have no emergency. He don't have no blood curdling scream. He doesn't have any broken glass. I'll get to broken glass in a minute, which is just such bullcrap. So he has nothing, and I'm not going to give it to him because that's not my job. He says something along the lines, "I want to come in the house." I said, "Not without a warrant. Sorry, pal." Now, I wasn't being a prick about it, but you know, this is where their egos and their chests get and their adrenaline starts going. I get it. I think one of the smartest things that I did, and thank the good Lord, was in court. I think the judge wanted to hear me say the police had an obligation to investigate this, even though the call was a hoax. The call originated with my youngest daughter, Stephanie Miramontes Taylor Garcia Aiken. I'm not going to talk too much about her because she's the one that started all of this. Since she was 14 or 15 years old, she has been doing everything under the sun to lie about me. And she knows darn right well as her other two sisters. I'll get to that too. I've never laid a hand on Deborah, nor would I. Give me a break. She's a liar. Her and her little coven, of which Kim Smith is part of. All right, don't get me started. Not that I'm taking it personally or anything. One of the officers spoke with the 911 caller, who was 1,000 miles away at the time. It was a conference call. So my daughter Stephanie provided the local 520, I think. Or maybe this Dulce person up in Idaho, maybe she, I don't know Dulce's last name. I don't know. I know she's been through our building as a volunteer, or we helped her, or something along those lines, because we help We used to, anyway. By the way, we're back doing that, too. So any donations you want to help with, trust me. I know our finances are under a microphone, magnifying glass. I'm okay with that. It's the fact that some of you here in town, believed that anything nefarious was even possible. So sad for you. This is only the second time I've ever been accused in that regard, and the first elders, if they'll be honest, they'll tell you. I opened up the books for them. I just opened it all up. And that's what I've done for the people that are in our office now. There's nothing to hide. Nothing to hide. Now, let me keep going. She said things sounded intense. Ooh. The house. And she repeated what she told dispatcher. She also said she heard yelling from the house in the past. Oh, Jellison said. Jellison didn't get a good look at Jellison didn't get a good look at Deborah Aiken, nor did they get the chance to check on the well-being of anyone else inside. Oh, no. That's Woodrow feeding you that line. No, I know the lines. Well, and then there's always a possibility that miniature Japanese ninjas are holding you captive in your own house, and you're too stupid to call 911. Call didn't originate from our house, pal. Don't even go there with that bull crap. See, I know the game. I know the game. Jellison, until now, he's been so predictable. The defense lawyer, this is why I'm saying, Sarita, you're wasting almost $1 million. You have no idea what's being spent on this competent but severely overworked attorney that you've hired, Jim Jellison. Hats off to his military career. Benny Fortuna. But you're a procedural jerk at the expense of the truth. You should know better. That's not integrity, pal. Well, I might as well say it, because I'm going to throw it in. I'll give you the proof. I can tell that the judge was annoyed with Jellison. So if you live in Sarita, pay attention, because this is where your tax dollars is getting wasted. They hire this guy. He's a multi-million-dollar, and by far, it's the smartest move they could have made, hiring him. But basically, they hired him to have my case thrown out. This is where the problem starts with you that are in Sarita, and those of you especially that are on the council. Dr. Steve, Diane, you have no idea how much of our tax dollars are being spent on that man who shows up to court Tuesday like he was hung over. Generally, throughout the history of this case, I've asked for 1 or 2 continuances. Defense has asked for 1 or 2 continuances. It's no big deal. But unless I'm mistaken, every one of those continuances was given for 30 days. It's just like, all right, push it back a month. You get what I'm saying. Jellison comes to me and says, I have a planned vacation. Well, it's his assistant. He has a planned vacation. Would you mind if we ask for a postponement? No objection. He puts his order in. He even notes that he notified me by the book, all square. And I'm sure, because I was shocked, I'm sure Jellison was expecting a 30-day delay. Instead, he put down Monday. That was the end of his vacation. And the judge scheduled it for the next day. Now you understand when I tell you, because I was in the elevator with the man, 1 floor up, 5 to 6. He appeared to be hung over. I'm an ex-cop. I know when somebody's having a rough day. All right, so, like an idiot, he was not prepared. He was not prepared at all. I guess I'll do that in another video. Let's get back to the newspaper, because it's so freaking interesting, especially if you live in Sarita and you know any of these council members, because all you got to do is a little bit of homework. Prove me wrong, please. Prove me wrong. Where are we? Anyway, back to the story. Nobody was walking their dog in front of my house. This was my youngest daughter who has started this entire mess, and a girl named Dolce who was in Boise, Idaho at the time. I'll say it now in case I forget. We have 3 daughters, and of course we've been Deborah and I have been doxxed by the local newspaper. Thanks, Kim Smith. You're a gem. But my daughter Sarah is being quoted as saying stuff that she didn't say. And I know exactly what happened because my daughter Stephanie has the ability to make a phone number show up that's not hers. And she just did that to her sister and pretended she was her sister. So my daughter Sarah and her husband up in Idaho, we're very proud of them. We have daily contact with all of them, grandkids, great relationship. Same with our oldest daughter. But our youngest, Stephanie, she's a prodigal. If you're a Christian, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, she's the one that started. She's the one that started all this from a hatred that started when she hit puberty. It's crazy. Stephen Aiken. Now, okay, Jellison didn't get a good look at Deborah Aiken, nor did I don't understand the grammar here, Kim, but we'll get back to that in a minute. Jellison didn't get a good look at Deborah Aiken, nor did they get the chance to check on the well-being of anyone else inside the home until after they breached the door. Yep, you got that from Woodrow. Stephen Aiken gave them her cell phone. What? Did she actually write the truth? Gave her cell phone number, but he didn't answer her phone until he handed the phone to her, and he remained by her side the entire time, Jellison said. All right, I'm not an expert on grammar, but you need to work on that punctuation, Kim. All right, so I think I know what she's saying. Okay, yes, this is what the defense is saying. The defense is saying that I answered the cell phone in an intimidating way. Keep in mind, I know where Jellison and the newspaper is going next. So I'm not. This isn't going to be for another 3 or 4 videos. I got so much to just. This is a document dump. Hope you're enjoying it. Make some popcorn, because look, it's 26 minutes and I'm not even halfway through. I'm not doing this again either. All right. So the phone. This is great. So in the evidence that I gave to the judge and the judge watched and the judge got a transcript, I will make that transcript available to you, and I'm ordering a copy of the court transcript. If we lose in court, if the judge rules against us, the case is over. So I'll move on with my life, but I'll lay this record down no matter what. So just let the court of public opinion decide. I'm good with that. I got a job to do, and this ain't it. All right, so the phone. Oh, yeah. So I give them the phone number. Cooperation. And I say something on the tape like, give her a call. I don't care. Grown woman basically was my attitude. You can watch the tape. I will be playing that tape because it was entered in evidence. That's why Jellison crapped his pants, not literally. But he might as well have. He got out of that courtroom so fast with a little troll Kim right behind him, sniffing for those nuggets. By the way, Kim, did you get the transcript before I did? That may be a problem down the road. Anyway. So I'm standing there talking to the cop. Now, much time went by. And they finally, I guess when they made the call back, they were like, hey, there's a wife. Because remember, Frug asked me, it's all on tape, who's in the house? I ain't answering questions, pal. Fifth Amendment. Hello? Because right now, I will tell you this. I suspected my daughter, Stephanie, right there. That's my state of mind. What the heck has she done now? Because when something like that happens out of the blue, it ain't chance. It's about the same chance as winning the lottery. Doesn't happen. Occam's razor. Look it up. So I finally give him the number, and you see on the tape, Fruge, like he doesn't think I see it, but he's handing it to Woodrow. And Woodrow, of course, experienced cop, he knows what to do. Call her. So then you hear on the tape, and I'll show it to you on the transcript, Fruge, I'm calling 3 times, no answer. Cut back to me, standing at the window, and I clearly say, if I do not take her phone, she will not be able to answer. At the time, she was 69 years old. She was in congestive heart failure. She had heart surgery, I don't know how many weeks when she had heart surgery soon thereafter, 3 stents, one of them a widowmaker. She had already suffered a mild stroke and several ischemic episodes, you piece of crap. You piece of crap. Every one of you. Kim Smith. I know you have no shame. I know my daughter has no shame, but the rest of you, are you kidding me? That's going to lead into James Freeman. I'm glad you stayed. All right. Do I have a temper? Yeah. But hit my wife? Are you crazy? I'm my wife's bodyguard, and I will be till I draw my last breath. Nobody messes with my wife, and that's what you guys are starting to do. See, Jellison, at taxpayers' expense, when my wife was in a fragile state of recovery, harassed and harangued her. And that's coming up in one of the tapes. When you read it, when you hear it, you're going to know. 99% of you are going to know. I get it. Some of you are going to say, oh, that's a blue bus. We're just going to shake the dust off our sandals with you because you're hopeless. All right, let's move on. Oh, so I took her the phone. So I said to Fruge, if I don't take her the phone, she can't get out of bed by herself.
So, if I don't take her phone, she will not be able to answer. She can't get out of bed.
Okay, where's her phone at?
It's in the kitchen, ringing.
It's ringing? Okay. Is it okay if she grabs her phone?
Hey, I'll take it to her.
You'll take it to her? Well, no one else will decide they can bring her the phone? All right. Yeah, go ahead. Well, hold on, keep that open. I want to be able to see you when you come back. Go ahead and take the phone, come back. Okay.
At the time, she was hooked up to a CPAP machine, oxygen, and a heart monitor. All right, I don't know where I stopped recording, but let's pick up on the newspaper here. Stephen Aiken then gave them her cell phone. All right, so they're making a big deal about the fact that, just like an abuser, I answered the phone for her. In the evidence that you'll see Sergeant Fruge tell me to take her the phone. First he asks, isn't there anybody else that can answer the phone? No, those ninjas are not available right now. Morons. Anyway, so he says, okay, take her the phone. Why did I answer? Even though they make me look like, just like an abuser, he answered the phone for her, luring over her. That's the picture that Jellison wants you to believe. And the newspaper's happy to accommodate that. But the truth is, I knew I had to answer that phone fast. If that thing would have went to voicemail, all I would have heard was breach, breach, breach. And I wouldn't even have a case. I'm not stupid. I know the playbook. So yeah, I had to answer that quickly. And I double-timed it into my wife's bedroom. And you hear me say right on the tape, it's in the transcript, something like, hey, baby, it's the cops. They want to make sure you're okay. Long conversation. Sergeant Woodrow says, we just want to make sure you're okay. Come to the window. Nothing we could have done was going to satisfy them because we would not open the door. That's what men and women gave up their lives for, your Fourth Amendment. Do you understand how serious this is? Somebody got to draw a line, and this is the clearest cut case I've ever heard about, to be honest with you. Jellison, who has admitted the officer's body cam. Oh, yeah. Let's keep reading. Body cam footage into evidence said case law has shown abusers routinely isolate victims from family members and the law enforcement officers. Jellison said Aiken has failed to prove that the police department has a custom or practice or policy of violating citizens' Fourth Amendment rights against unreasonable searches and seizures, which would have to be proven if the case were to go to trial. He's right about that, but it has nothing to do with exigent circumstances. So why she's wasting ink on that, I don't know, but it's Kim. Once inside the house, the officers found a broken glass. Oh my goodness. Give me 50 people over the age of 65 who did not drop something this year, and I'll give you $10 for everyone. Everyone. Are you kidding me? Just because we don't live in a retirement community doesn't mean we are not old. I might have to cut that out. Never mind, not like that. All right, I'm starting to lose my voice. So let me keep going. Hang on. Once inside. Oh, so yeah, they're making a big deal about the glass. And making a big deal about the fact that I started to clean up the glass and I moved the couches around. And then in reality, none of your business, but in reality, Deborah just said, let's go to bed. We'll do this in the morning. Not uncommon for old people. And then if they didn't talk about it in this article, I'll just tell you real quick. And then there was blood. On my deposition, you'll hear me say, at that time, I was still playing active softball. I was playing 2-3 times a week. I'm a third baseman, and I go for everything I can. And that means you end up in the dirt sometimes. And that means every once in a while, I don't know if you can see the scarring on my arm, but my elbows, they've been through a lot. And yeah, on the way to my bedroom, I must have bumped up a day or two before. But there was blood! Unbelievable. This is what Kim Smith lives for. And now you see why I have a problem with her journalistic bias. That's all it is. She hates me, and so she's going to do everything she can for the cause of good. She really thinks she's doing good. Probably my daughter, same thing. She probably convinced herself by telling all these lies. Anyway, all right, let's keep going. Once inside the house, the officers found broken glass in the living room, master bedroom, that's a lie, and the bathroom, that's a lie. Displaced furniture, yep. A rug, yep. Blood on the main bathroom door. Wow. All right, Kim. You're salivating now, aren't you? No arrest was made. Huh. Boy, how's that even possible? After the way you described, you see what I mean? Your biases, Kim, they're glaring. No arrest was made or charges sought because Deborah Aiken denied domestic violence occurred. How nice of you. There's never been domestic violence. There never has been domestic violence. In our entire household, the only purveyor of domestic violence was the aforementioned youngest daughter, Stephanie. She's a liar. What can I tell you? And yes, she started all this. Let's keep going. No arrest was made. 2 attorneys hired to represent. I'm not even going to waste your time with that. First attorney was an idiot and lied to me. Second attorney I couldn't afford. He said, look, we're going to keep going. It's going to be $70,000. Yeah, not so much. Let's see. No arrest was made. The 2 attorneys. Aiken told the judge. All right, this seems good. Aiken told the judge he is absolutely dumbfounded. I think I did say that. That makes me think that you have the transcript, Kim. That makes me think that there might be some shenanigans going on, Kim. But I digress. Absolutely dumbfounded. Jellison submitted the officer's body cam footage of the event because, in his view, it proves his case. That's exactly what I said to the judge. The defense keeps saying the body cam. Please, by all means, let's look at the body cam. And as it is, we looked at a 7-minute clip, which, like I said, if the judge doesn't rule in our favor, it's just not meant to be. I'm okay. We're okay, Deborah and I. He showed the judge a 7-minute snippet. Oh, a snippet. 7 minutes is not a snippet, Kim. That, at the very least, is a clip. It's not a snippet. Snippet is 30 seconds, TikTok. See what I'm saying? He showed the judge a 7-minute snippet of the incident. There's no evidence of a crime, nor did I commit any crime, Aiken said. I'm sure I did. He was reluctant to bring his wife to the door that night because she ill. I'm sorry, Kim, did you mean she was ill or is ill? If you stayed with me this long, stay with me to the end, because I'm not done with you, Kim. He was reluctant to bring his wife to the door that night because she ill. I hope you didn't quote me there, because I don't speak that way. No, you didn't. And was already in bed and hooked up to her devices, Aiken said. All right. I don't think I use that kind of improper grammar, but if that's what you say, she ill. Newspaper. Reporter. Pulitzer Prize publisher. No, I don't know. I'm just kidding. I have no hard feelings against Dan Shear whatsoever. When he was going to go after me in 2006, it was because of Randy Graff that he didn't. And I appreciate that. I've been loyal to Randy ever since. I've been a supporter of Randy's from day one. I'm sure Randy prefers that I didn't hang around because I'm bad for business. But I have the utmost respect for the man, what he tried to do for his country. Anyway, well, I think I wrote about it in my book. Never mind. Where were we? There's no evidence of a crime, nor did I commit any. He was reluctant to bring his wife to the door that night because she ill and was already in bed and hooked up to her devices. Aiken said, he said she was on oxygen, a continuous positive airway, CPAP, and a heart monitor. That's probably true. Weeks after the event, she was diagnosed with cognitive... So this is where Kim gets it right. I'll give her credit where credit's due. Weeks after the event, she was diagnosed with congestive heart failure and underwent surgery, and 3 stents were put in her, Aiken said. What I didn't mention was the strokes and the recovery from the strokes, but that's going to come in the next video when I reveal how Jellison, the attorney for Sarita, literally mistreated Deborah right on camera. You can't make this stuff up. Kind of like our cameraman, James Freeman, being tackled. I'll get to him, don't worry. I didn't forget. We couldn't have been more cooperative, Aiken said. Deborah eventually did go to the door, and if she had wanted to open the door, she could have. That's true. This is all she had to do. Like that. But being a grown woman, she chose not to, Aiken said. That's right. Nothing we did was good enough, Aiken said. That's right. Nothing we did was going to stop them from breaking in the door. Specifically, Lieutenant Eric Heath. He was all pumped up, man. I don't know what he's on, but he needs to back off and get some testosterone pills or something. I'm going to have a lot to say about him and hope that he sues me. Lemon pound cake. All right. Weeks after Deborah eventually did go to the door, nothing we did. He believes the officers that night didn't like him. Oh, yeah, they didn't like me at all. Or his attitude. Nope, they didn't like my attitude. And were determined to break down the door. Yupper doodle. She got that right. Ding, ding, ding. Congrats, Kim. Aiken said once the door was rammed and everyone was outside, his wife was never asked about the allegations. That's right. I made a note of that to the judge. So the whole idea, they say, well, we have to separate because it's potential domestic violence. That's the card they're playing. They tried to switch it up to secret ninjas later, but I digress. So when they separated us, I'm in handcuffs. Deborah's talking to them. Not a word. Was he holding you hostage? Was he hitting you? Was he yelling at you? None of that. None of that. Just basically, we're sorry for breaking in the door. We hope you understand why we felt we had to break in the door. And we apologize for shining the light in your face. And it's just nothing but an apology to her. It wasn't until, and I'll go into great detail about this, it wasn't until Lieutenant, then, you know, it was Sergeant Heath at the time. They actually promoted this piece of crap to a lieutenant since then. So it's then you catch Lieutenant Heath, and I got so much footage on this guy. He says to Fruge, anything. And I submit to you, although I can't prove it to any degree of certainty, but when you hear it, I'm not going to play it on this tape, but when you hear it, you'll know that Heath went through my entire house twice, taking pictures the second time, or instructing people to do it. He says to Fruge anything, and what he means by that is, were you able to find any evidence of a crime? Because that's all they're looking for at this point. They're panicking. They are literally panicking. Heath, who's just too smart for his own good, did everything in his power to find some thread of something that he could possibly charge me with. This is why police conduct has to be held account. And this is why I'm so hard on this. It's nothing personal, Diane. But this is why I'm so hard on the township council. They won't even ask the questions. And as a corporate body, they outrank everybody in this city, including the mayor and the chief of police. All they need is a majority, 4 of them, 5 of them, whatever it is, need to get together and ask the freaking questions, but they're cowards. Just my opinion. All right, let's keep going. We're almost done. Aiken said once the door was rammed and everyone was outside, his wife was never asked about the... That's right. When asked if she had anything to say, Deborah Aiken told the judge she told the officers she was fine. I'm not scared of my husband. I've been with him 43 years, or probably 44 years by now. And he's never striked me. Never, 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 she said. It was the officers who were supposed to be protecting her that hurted her when she rammed the door. You see what I'm saying, Kim? You have the audacity to point out improper English and tag it to my wife because you can't help yourself. Your hatred of the goodness that Deborah and I are doing in this town. The amount of people that we've helped with rent, electric. We can't do that anymore. I'll be getting to those people soon too. But that ain't going to stop us from spreading the truth. You're a liar, Kim. You're a liar. And the 30% of the people that buy this bull crap, well, that's why I'm laying down the record. By the way, I'm not suicidal. So you point out a mispronunciation by my wife, and you're the same one who can't even get the grammar of your own copy correct. You're such a hypocrite. Such a hypocrite. Let me end this. Both sisters, they're talking about my middle daughter, Sarah, who lives in Idaho, and my youngest daughter, Stephanie, who is the troublemaker, and in all probability, passed herself off as her sister to the newspaper. I wish my daughter Sarah would sue the newspaper. But just so you guys know, we're on great terms. We talk almost every day. It's my daughter Stephanie that's been trying to get me arrested since she was 16. 14. Whenever our hormones hit, I don't know. Both sisters told the police they suspected Stephen Aiken treats their mother poorly. Oh, they've downgraded it a little bit because it used to be hits. Treats their mother poorly, and that domestic violence has been an issue in the past. They've witnessed. No, they haven't. My daughter Stephanie has never witnessed anything above yelling and screaming. And because I'm deaf, I yell pretty loud. I still have part of my cop voice left, but that's not a crime. Deborah and I, this is the best years of our life.
The way that I stand, there's nothing else to demand. The side of you leaves me weak, and I don't know what it's love to speak.
Absent our daughter Stephanie, our prodigal daughter. She'll come back. We have faith. But I'm not going to stop telling the truth. I'm bringing the receipts. So, the part 2 of all this, James Freeman, and I'll close. James Freeman did us a solid. Deborah and I are very grateful, but I want to get to the forgiveness part before I move on. I don't think James Freeman, who has since shut down his Facebook, his YouTube, I don't have his number anymore. He had mine, I had his, which I don't give my number out. If you have it, don't give it to anybody. Anyway, he shut down everything. Basically, he was making his livelihood on YouTube. And he broke our story. He's the one that made it go viral. Between like 3 or 4 YouTube channels, over 3 million hits. That's significant. Town has no idea. Town council has no idea what they're dealing with. But here's the downside. Inadvertently, James Freeman was responsible for bringing in some slime balls into a town council meeting. Deborah and I knew nothing about it. We had no idea what it was. I saw about a 20-second clip, and I was furious. And that was all due to James Freeman. Now, we forgive. We're fine. But here's the problem that we have currently. Our ex-son-in-law, who happens to be a well-respected man in Sarita, part of committees and so on and so forth, former Marine, I have nothing, Deborah and I have nothing bad to say about him, except you're starting to act like a coward now. You, who has more medals on his chest serving in the Marine Corps than I'll ever look at. So proud of you all those years. I've known you, what are you, 40 years old now? I've known you since you were 15, 16 years old. Helped you navigate my daughter who's insane. And this is how you treat me? You think I sent those people? You think Deborah and I had anything to do with those scumbags? And now you won't let us see our grandchildren because of it? What is wrong with you? Is it your wife? I don't know. We've never done anything or said anything or acted inappropriately. The few occasions you invited us over, I hope I acted like a gentleman. Why? Because I respected you until now. You're buying the lies. You're buying the bull crap. What is wrong with you? And James Freeman brought that into town. And that's why my ex-son-in-law and his wife won't talk to us, won't return our phone calls, won't let us see our grandkids because of a lie. Deborah and I are done with the lies. We got nothing to lose. If we win this next court decision, we'll move on and make the changes that need to be made in this town. If we lose, we lose. Shame on them. The first truth to suffer was nobody's walking their dog in front of my house. And when you build your case on a lie, the whole thing should fall apart. It was a lie. There was no dog. The defense counsel has yet to give that to me as evidence, as part of discovery. So all I know is what I read in the doggone newspaper, and half that's a lie. So I don't know. James Freeman is alive and well. He was seen in public the other day by several people, and I wasn't going to say a doggone thing, except for a couple people put it out on the internet already that I saw. So here's my advice when it comes to James Freeman. He shut off his Facebook. He shut off all communication. Deborah and I have totally forgiven him for what he did or allowed to happen. It's cool. We're grateful. He put our story on the map, but why wouldn't I be grateful? So my advice is, he wants to be left alone. Leave him the heck alone. You know, it's kind of like me. Deborah and I don't have friends, and I've even told people that pretended they were our friends. We don't have friends. Deborah and I are not called to have friends. We are friendly. I don't exaggerate when I tell you the nicest church I ever pastored is the people I'm pastoring right now. Small group, wonderful people. No drama. So, unless you cross over into the boundaries. If you cross over into my personal life, or even James Freeman's personal life, don't. Big mistake. So, we're going to leave James Freeman alone. I've been in James's house. I've met his wife. They're a fine family. Leave them alone. That's all. That's the best advice I can give all of you. I have no insight. Like I said, I don't have his number anymore. So that's that. More to come. I don't know if, man, this was a long one. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do another one today. But I got so much more about gelatin. Maybe that's where I'll go next. You're wasting, Sarita. You got a problem. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying with me. I know it was a long one, but I'm not gonna do this again. So if you want to get caught up or you're new, go back and watch the last 25 or 30 videos. Because I'm just not going to repeat myself. I can't do it. I'm a human being. I got a life. This make-believe life that spills into real life just has to be dealt with. That's just the way I look at it. The truth sets you free. Be a seeker of truth. And that's what you're going to find on this channel, at least as it refers to this case. God bless you. We'll see you in the next one.
Is there a way that we can call her and say that we'd like to check up on her? Because you said that she can't get excited, right? I just want to check up on her. That's it. Could you please do that?
If you want to talk to you, it's more about it. I'm going to bed. I'm tired.
Well, I like to go home too.
And I want you to. I want you to go home and see your family. Good. God bless you, sir. Give her a call. Bye.
Okay.
Fruge, I'm calling 3 times, no answer.
Still got to put eyes on it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the person you were...
So,
Take her phone. She will not be able to answer. She can't get out of bed.
okay, where's her phone at?
It's in the kitchen, ringing.
It's it raining? Okay. Is it okay if she grabs her phone?
Hey, I'll take it to her.
You'll take it to her? Well, no one knows what to decide. They can bring her the phone? All right. Yeah, go ahead. Well, hold on. Keep that open. I want to be able to see you when you come back. Go ahead and take the phone. Come back. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, this is Officer Woodrow with the Sahuarita Police Department. Is this Steve?
It is.
Hi, Steve. Is Deborah available?
She is. She's in bed, but I'll put the phone to her.
Okay.
Maybe it's the cops. I want to make sure you're okay.
Hello?
Hi, is this Deborah?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Deborah. This is Officer Woodrow with the Sahuarita Police Department.
Yeah.
Hey, is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Okay, so we got a call
Got
tonight.
some bad news about our grandson.
Yeah, that's what Steve was telling me. I'm sorry to hear that.
And I've been sick, so...
I understand. Look, Deborah, the quickest and easiest thing that we can do so we can get out of here is just to make sure that everybody's okay. Is there any way that you
okay.
can? Is there any way you can
I
walk
was
to the front
sleeping.
door?
I'm in bed.
Okay. Is there any way that you can walk to the front door window just so we can see you and see that you're in good physical condition? As far as, you don't have to open the door necessarily, but as long as we can see you.
Sure, I'm in my pajamas.
Hey, I've seen everything. You're just fine.
Okay.
All right,
thanks a
Deborah, I
lot.
appreciate it.
I'll be there in a minute.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Can I chat with you separately? I know that you're saying okay, that you're fine, but I'd like to chat with you separately. Just, we had a witness say that there was some yelling and something happened over here. Can you open the door? What's that? It's okay. I'll only use about 30 seconds of your time. That's all it is. Okay. I can hear mumbling. I can barely hear you, miss.
I've been sick, so I don't like to sit in my house and
Okay. Well, the only thing is, if you can open the door so I can just chat with you, I would like to chat with you separately, away from your husband, and then just take your.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, that's a little bad, right? 42 years we've been married. We had a little bad news tonight, that's all.
That's okay.
For your service.
Miss, can I have you please open the door so I can chat with you separately, and then we can just go home, we can get out of here?
I don't want to see her now.
I can't hear you.
I don't want to see her now.
Okay. I know, and I'm sorry, I really don't want to bother you, but the thing is I have to check up on you, and I have to make sure that everybody's okay. Okay, and and truthfully, I don't feel comfortable with the way you're talking to me right now, and the only reason is because I can't, you may want to tell me something away from him, and you can't do that right now because he's standing around the corner. He's behind the corner, he turned left.
That's my buddy.
Okay. Could you please open the door so I can just chat with you?
You're
not what?
I'm not scared of my husband. We're not for years.
Okay.
First, the tools are here. Let her know that if she doesn't open the door, we're going to have to force entry to check welfare.
Okay.
We don't want to damage her nice house.
So that's right now, if you don't open the door, we're gonna have to break it in. I don't wanna do that. Okay?
But I'm cold. I'm sitting there.
Okay. Miss, you have a beautiful house.
I don't want to.
Okay. I'm gonna have to break in the door if you don't open the door, because I just wanna make sure that everybody's okay. Okay. But you're telling me this, but I can't verify that.
Show her that she's in.
Okay.
But why just call our attorney and whatever she wants to do tomorrow.
Lock that both of them at the front door.
That's right here. We don't want to go to that.
Okay. Well, I understand that you're sick, but if you can just give me 30 seconds every time. I just want to go in there. We've been talking for about 15, 20 minutes. I can't hear you, miss.
I've been sick for 3 days, and I feel like I have to mention I know.
Okay, that's okay. I've been to some pretty bad houses. Your house looks very nice. I just saw, even the living room, it's nicer than mine. Miss, so we have the tool to open the door. Okay?
Let her see it first. You know, we gotta go. We got ecstasy. We gotta move now that we got the right tools. Last warning.
Look, last warning. You gotta open up. Last warning.
I'm gonna pull up that way.
Okay, and you guys got a stack? Okay.
Lieutenant, on you.
Can I come outside?
Yes, you can come outside if you do it right now. Okay. Miss,
All right, let's move.
if you can please open the door.
They're both there. Breach, move, Oscar, move.
Move!
Put your hands where we can see them. Put your hands where we can see them.
She has a medical condition on her license.
Sir, put your hands where we can see them right now.
She has a medical license on her medical thing on her license.
Come on out here,
We're
boss.
not giving consent.
Come back here.
You're not in trouble.
Just hurt me. You hit me when I